with a name, but in our longing hearts, we're all the same. We can make it happen, turn things around. Let's be the change we wanna see about. in this world.
Congratulations! Success! You are here. And showing up is the hardest part. It shows, it proves that you are really strong. You are strong. And what is it? One of the definitions of strong is especially able and competent. And that is you today. Because you're here. That's the first step. That is the hardest thing sometimes to do, is just showing up. But now that box is checked. Today's practice is all on the ground. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. This is a 1 hour long practice. We practice every single day. Every day our practices are different. This one's all on the ground today. Something, just very doable. And you can do it because you modify the practice to make it work for you. Totally make it work for you. Don't make it the other way around. Don't think, oh, I got to do this pose. I got to do that pose. Be comfortable. Wear your Costco flannel. Wear your pajamas. Just be comfortable and make it work for you. Do what is right for your body. Never hurt. If it hurts, back out of it. It's just not right for you. We're going to use some props today. The props we're going to use are our usual. 2 little yoga blocks. Those come in handy because we're going to do fish pose toward the end. A towel, a wonderful eye shade, perhaps a strap or a belt to your robe, whatever, we can use that as well. And have some water handy. You always want to have water handy. Can't drink enough water. All right, so let's start. First thing we're going to do, stress number. Lock in a stress number. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, where are you stress-wise? Where are you stress-wise? And lock that number into your mind. We're down on the ground, so we're going to start in a child's pose. Child's pose today. Let's come on down to our mat. You're already here. All right, spread your knees a little bit. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Let's work on the low back. I'm gonna keep my Costco flannel on for a little bit because it's kind of cold. I'm gonna take it off in a while. All right, reach your arms forward. Knees spread wide. Maybe you put a towel under your knees. Maybe that feels good. Maybe you even take a block and slip it under your chest. You decide. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big breath out through your mouth. Let it go. Sink your bottom back towards your heels. Lengthen in your low back. Now your hands, they're reaching forward. Let's take our left hand. I'll talk you through so you don't have to look up. Take your left hand, place it on top of your right, and sink your hips back toward your heels. If you don't like that, this is the beauty of your practice from your own home. Just reach your arms forward. But I'm going to place the left hand on top of the right, sinking my bottom back toward my heels. My big toes are touching, knees spread kind of wide. Big breath in and big breath out. Settle in to your mat. Settle into your practice. Settle into this hour. And if you can only stay for part of it, that's okay. Don't judge yourself. Just let it go. Do what you can. Head down toward your mat as best you can. Deep breaths in through your nose and a big sighing breath out through your mouth. Just enjoy the quiet and the solitude of being here on your mat. Nowhere to go. This is exactly where you need to be. Just enjoy it. When you're ready, walk your hands back toward the midline of your body and kind of walk them a little bit to the left. And this time take your right hand, put it on top of your left, and sink on down. Tailbone to the back of the room. Crown of the head to the front of your room. Deep breath in through the nose. And some big sighing breaths out through the mouth. And when you're ready, walk your hands back to the midline of your body and really reach your fingertips to the top of your mat. Now, if you like, engage your Ujjayi Pranayama breath. All that is just a gentle way of breathing that helps you focus inward. Close your lips if you want to try it, and breathe in and out of your nose only. And if it just doesn't feel right, breathe any way you like, of course. Keep your breaths long. Big breath in. Feel your shoulders expand. And big breath out. Let it all go. Sink your hips back. Sink your tailbone to the back of the room. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. How are you doing? Let's come out of this pose. Nice little stretch for your low back. Let's come now into a thunderbolt pose. So what is thunderbolt? Thunderbolt is when you sit back on your heels. How does that feel? If it's not comfortable for you, sit any way you like. Maybe you want to sit on a block, or maybe just sit in another way. The reason why we're sitting in thunderbolt is because we're going to do a hero's pose in a little bit. Big stretch on your quads. So if you can comfortably sit back, enjoy it. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out with your shoulders over your hips. And as you're ready, sweep your arms on up. Maybe your palms are face up. Bring them on up, up, up. Maybe they touch overhead or maybe not. Maybe you put a little bend in your elbows. Maybe that feels good. And as you exhale, palms face down. Bring them on down by your sides. So marry these arm sweeps to your breath. Inhale, up, palms up. Take them as high as you like. Exhale, palms face down. Bring them on down by your sides. All right, I'm warmed up now. I'm going to take my jacket off. Now, what you can do is close your eyes. Close your eyes and start to do these big arm sweeps up and down. Just get into it. So work on the shoulders, eyes closed. Breathe. Strengthen the upper back. Move your shoulders up on the inhale. Down on the exhale. Take your time. Enjoy this movement in your shoulders. How often do you move with this intensity, this great range of motion? Try it. Do what you can with what you got, and don't criticize yourself. Don't be a critic. We tend to be so critical of many things, but especially ourselves. Don't be a critic. Be your cheerleader. Arms up and down. One more time. Arms up and arms down. With your arms down by your sides, maybe keep your eyes closed. Your hands, think like we did in that extended child's pose. Reach your arms forward on the ground. Reach, stretch. Your knees are together, but your arms are reaching long to the top of the mat. On an inhale, come on up. Bring your hands behind your low back. Maybe place them on your low back. Squeeze your elbows toward the back of the room and lift your chest up to the sky as you lift your chin up to the sky as well. A little bit of a back bend. And as you exhale, again, forward fold. Inhale, come on back up. Hands to your low back. Squeeze the elbows, lift the chin, lift the chest. Just gentle movements. Maybe eyes are still closed. Do it again. Forward. Exhale, hollow out the belly. Inhale, come on back up. Hands to your low back, elbows squeezed together. Lift your chest to the sky. One more time. How does it feel? Breathe. And then finish up. Let your arms be down by your sides. Let one arm come down to the earth. Maybe it comes onto the block. Maybe no block at all. Just use your fingertips or your hand. Keep your heels equally planted on both of your backside cheeks. Lift one arm up high to the sky. Take a cross-body movement, crossing the midline of your body. And that foundational arm, let the elbow work as you take a big side bend here. Big breath in and big breath out. find length in your entire side body, bending that foundational elbow to what feels good, with the block or without. Just a big stretch. Chin away from the chest, top shoulder toward the back of the room. Don't let it collapse toward the front of your room. Reach, stretch, take your time here. You can keep your eyes closed. I'll tell you what to do next. Come on up slowly, back up to a natural seated position with your shoulders over your hips. Place the opposite arm down on your mat or onto the block. Lift the opposite arm up, up, up to the sky. Find length there in that side of your body. And then as you exhale, slowly take it across the midline of your body. Chin away from your chest, top shoulder back, and adjust that foundational arm. So you can take this stretch even deeper. Feels nice and graceful, doesn't it? Big breath in and big breath out. Just take a moment, breathe through the stretch. Inhale, you lengthen and reach a little farther. Exhale, settle in, relax, let it be. Nice big stretch in your side body. We had that little warm up when we placed our right hand on top of our left in that child's pose. Let's finish up slowly. Slowly is the key. Come on back to the midline of your body. Bring your hands to prayer center. Maybe your eyes are still closed. Take a deep breath in. You are strong. And a deep breath out. You are capable, you are able, you can do it, and you are doing it. Good on you. When you're ready, tee out your arms nice and big, palms toward the front of the room, and then give yourself a big hug. As you exhale, bring the arms toward the midline, let them cross, elbows cross, reach your fingers toward your spine, reach, 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 and then soften in your shoulders away from your ears as you send the two sides of your shoulders to the sides of your room. Nice big tight hug, nice big tight squeeze. Breathe. Feel your breath. As you fill your lungs up, feel the expansion in the shoulders. And then exhale. Let's do it again. Other side. Tee out your arms. Remember what arm's on top. Tee out your arms. Chest lifts. Nice big breath. And now let the arms cross at the midline, opposite arm on top. Reach your fingers towards your spine. Your shoulders are up near your ears. Soften them, stretch them out. Reach them towards the side of the room as you squeeze into this nice big hug. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Shoulders, we'll get into them even more in a little bit. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Let it feel really good. All right, come out of this big hug. Take your hands behind your low back. Interlace your fingers behind your low back. Let your chest lift up. Think of bringing your shoulders way to the back of the room. Your chest lifts. Fingers are interlaced and your thumbs are kind of pressing into that dividing line on your bottom. Breathe. Exhale, hinge forward. Let your forehead come toward the earth. Your interlaced hands, let them walk up the back wall. Reach. Let them climb up. And then finish. Come on back up. Shoulders over your hips. Take your interlaced fingers away from your low back. Bring them down by your sides. Take a big breath in. And a big shoulder softening breath out. Maybe your eyes are still closed. Interlace your fingers in front of your body. Now extend your arms forward. With your right hand, bring your right hand on top and your left hand on the bottom, and then start to do some wrist circles. So your right hand's on top, then your left hand's on top. So you're doing like a sideways number 8, an infinity sign with your wrists. Tight squeeze in the fingers, work your wrists. Really get that sideways 8 kind of rounded. Breathe. Work out those little clicks in the wrist. As long as they don't hurt, they're A-okay. So an infinity sign, sideways number 8 with your wrists. Let's let it go. Release your hands down by your sides. Now, left arm is hanging heavy. Take your right arm and capture your left wrist. Capture your left wrist kind of under that bony protrusion on your wrist. So maybe you've got your longest finger and your thumb capturing under the wrist, and you're holding onto your hand. Now just give it a nice pull. Pull, pull, pull. As if you've got like a glove on that's really tight and you're trying to squeeze it off. And let your right hand squeeze through the hand and squeeze down onto the fingers. And then do it again. Right hand comes up right at the bottom of the wrist and pull, pull, pull nice and tight, like you're peeling off a second skin on your hand. Nice tight glove, you're taking it off. So maybe do it 2 or 3 times. If you have carpal tunnel or tendonitis, this really feels pretty good. All right, so that's it. Let's do the other side. Other arm hangs down by your side. Take the opposite hand, the longest finger maybe, and your thumb. Wrap it around the wrist. Give it a nice tug. Slowly work your hand on down, the relaxed hand, all the way down to your fingers. And do it again. Maybe 2 or 3 times. I did it 3 times on the other side, so I'll do it 3 times on this side. You do it as slow as feels good. Just let it feel really good. Squeeze that hand. This is a similar sensation of grabbing the wrist that we do in a banana asana or a half crescent moon. Just peel the skin on down. That sounds terrible. Peel the glove off your hand, your winter glove off your hand. Finish up. One more thing to do with the hands. All right. Send your arms long in front of you, parallel to each other. Flip one hand so the palm is face up. The other hand, we've done this before. Peel all 4 fingers back. Pull all 4 fingers back with the opposite hand. So your forearm is up to the sky. Nice forearm stretch, nice stretch in your hand. And don't forget your thumb. Pull it back as well. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Take each individual finger, starting with your pinky, pull it back. And think about how you're pulling it. How far can you reasonably pull it? Move on to the next finger. And the next finger. 2 more fingers to go. Pull that next finger back. Lastly, pull your thumb back. Don't neglect the thumb. Really pull it back to what feels right. Open up carpal tunnel. Finish up. Other hand, it extends, palm face up, always ready to receive, right? Pull all 4 fingers back, nice and hard and firm with the opposite hand. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's pull each individual finger back. Pinky, ring finger, tall man. Index finger, and the thumb. Pull it back. Breathe. Finish up like you're playing a typewriter or playing the piano. Typewriter. Computer. Typewriter. Piano. Just wiggle your fingers. Let them be. All right. Hands down to your thighs. All right. How do your wrists feel? Maybe give them a wiggle. How do they feel? You have more mobility there. More mobility in your fingers, more mobility in your wrists. I hope so. Let's do the neck a little bit. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, my feet are falling asleep. We're going to do child's pose. We're going to do a toes pose in a little bit, so you'll feel good. All right, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe your eyes are still closed. Turn your head gently from right to left to left to right. Just turn it. Shoulders are away from your ears. Breathe. Left to right, right to left. Finish up, head back at the midline, neck circles if they feel good for you. Breathe. Neck circles in the opposite direction if they feel good for you. If neck circles don't feel right, just lengthen up through the crown of your head. Finish up with your neck circles. Bring your head back to the midline of your body. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. And exhale, soften. As you soften in your shoulders, turn your head to the left. Turn it turn it, and hold it here. Take your left hand, lift it up off your thigh, take your 2 peace fingers and gently nudge the outside of your jaw here, allowing you to turn your head just a little bit more with that gentle encouragement. Soften in your right shoulder, let it be. And then finish. Remove your peace fingers. Slowly bring your head back to the midline of your body. Lengthen up with a big inhale. And as you exhale, soften up and turn your head to the right. Let it settle here. Just rest here. Soften in your left shoulder. Lift your right hand up. 2 peace fingers. Gently nudge the outside of your jaw. Encouraging the head a little further to the right. And slowly finish up. Bring your hands back down to your thighs. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. And soften up in the shoulders. How do you feel? All right, one last thing for the sky, or for your neck. Lift your chin to the sky. Tuck your chin to your chest. Chin to the sky. Feel the tightness in the muscles on the front of your neck. And tuck your chin to your chest. Shoulders are soft. Inhale, lengthen, chin to the sky. Exhale, chin to your chest. Come on back up, head at the midline of your body. Spread your knees wide. Let's do a wide-kneed child's pose. All right, knees spread wide, big toes touch, arms reach toward the top of your mat. Come on down, sink on down. Maybe use your block under your forehead or your chest. We're going to take this wide-legged child's pose a little bit further. We're going to spread our knees even wider when the time is right for you. So, from child's pose to tadpole to full frog. So tadpole, the legs are just spread wider. Knees spread wider, big toes still touch, reach to the top of your mat. So this is a big stretch in your adductor muscles inside your thighs. Take the knees a little wider if you like. Really feel it in the inner groin. If it's painful, come out of it. If it's just uncomfortable, breathe through it. Now maybe work your toes apart. There's your frog pose as you work your shins more parallel to the sides of your mat. Big breath in and big breath out. Breathe. Relax. Let the tension in your hips go. You got this. You're stronger than you think. Let the tension go. All right, let's press on up. Bend your arms, press on up. Bring your knees in a little bit closer. Bring your big toes back to touch like a wide-legged child's pose. And then bring your arms forward. Let's do some little frog push-ups, but let's just take them nice and gentle and let's pulse through them. So hinge forward, sending more weight into your arms. Your fingers and hands are spread wide. Weight equally distributed in your hands. Hold here, kind of like a frog plank, right? Adjust your body to what feels right for you. Everybody's height is different, and you know what feels good in your hips here. Elbows are hugged in, little teeny pulses. Nothing big, just a little bend and then straighten. And don't straighten all the way. You don't want to lock out your elbows. Just little bends as you push the earth away. Breathe. This is our variation of our plank today. Let's finish. Talk about building strength, right? Send your hips back to your heels. Reach through your long arms. Big breath in, settle in, relax. Let your chest melt toward the earth. Maybe your forearms are down on the mat too. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Mobility in your body, flexibility in your body, also important. And you got it in your yoga. Let's finish up. Press on up to a tabletop. In your tabletop, what you want to do is cat-cow from here. So shoulders are over your wrists, knees are underneath your hips, tops of your feet are pressed into your mat, and so are your hands. Think of incredible length from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Your back is nice and flat and straight. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back to the sky. Inhale, cow pose. Tailbone and crown of the head lift to the sky. Exhale, cat, pushing the earth away. Inhale, cow, crown of the head and tailbone lift. Breathe. Let this movement in your neck feel good. Let this movement in your tailbone feel good. Really tuck it. Breathe. Let's finish up in our cat cow pose. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Your hands, let's move our hands so that the fingers are pointing towards our knees and your forearms are shining forward, getting back into the wrists and the hands again. Fingers spread wide, move your hips gently from left to right. Move your hips more back towards your heels as maybe you bring the weight more into your fingers. Just let this feel good in your forearms and your hands. Let's finish here. Wiggle your fingers, lift them up, give them a wiggle, let that sparkly feeling be gone. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Let's do bird dog pose. We're going to take it nice and slowly and we are going to hold it. If balance is a little bit of an issue, you can bring a block to the top of your mat. I'm going to begin by lifting my right leg up, knee at about hip height. Left leg extends long. Drive through your heel as you draw your right toes towards your shin. Both hips are equal distant to the mat. Push hard into the earth and maybe you stay right here. Right leg is extended. Maybe you extend your left arm long. Maybe you like having that block at the top of your mat and you rest your left hands on it. Reach and stretch here. Your left hand, spread your fingers wide, left thumb high to the sky like a hitchhiker. Push into the earth and hold it. Breathe. Push into the earth. Breath is strong. Heel and crown of the head are driving to opposite ends of your mat. Breathe and finish. Left hand comes down. Right knee comes down. Other side, no rest. Send the knee of the left leg up. Send the left leg long. Draw the toes toward the shin. Really feel the strength here. Push into the earth, or even with the top of your right foot. Maybe the right hand extends as well. Block can be under the hand. If you like, lengthen through the left leg. Reach through the right fingers. Maybe spread the fingers wide. Thumb up. Find length in your entire body. Reach the fingers of the right hand a little farther. Reach the heel a little farther. Lift the leg a little higher. Hold it. Push into the earth a little harder. Breathe. Strengthen your low back. Banish the back pain. Stretch it out in your bird dog. And then finish. Right hand comes down. Left knee comes down. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Come down to your belly. Let's do broken wing. All right. You're on your belly. Tee out your left arm. So your left hand is at about hip height. You've got mobility in your shoulders. We did those big arm circles. Bend your right arm. Come down on your left cheek. Roll onto your left hip. Legs can be long on your mat, or we'll play with those in a minute. All right. So your right arm is bent. Left arm is extended. Push into your right hand so you can really get into your left shoulder. Feel the stretch in your left shoulder. If it's painful, don't bend so far. If it's just uncomfortable, breathe through it. Legs can be long. You can bend your knees if that alleviates some of the tension. Top leg, the right leg, you can bend it and place the sole of the right foot onto your mat, letting the knee of the right leg go up toward the sky to further intensify this pose. Now, the right foot is in front. You could also put the right foot behind, plant it on your mat, and again drive the knee up to the sky. Drive it with the right hand. Big breath in, big breath out. This is your broken wing pose. Let's finish. Come down to your belly. All you gotta do is roll over onto the other side. Extend your right arm long, bend your left elbow, and roll on to the opposite hip, the right hip. Right cheek is down, legs can be long, left arm's the driver. Push into it to feel the nice stretch in your right shoulder. Big breath in, big breath out. Play with your legs however you want them to be. Maybe a little bend in them feels better. If it does, do it. It's your yoga. Make it work your way. Maybe the foot of the top leg, the left leg. Plant the sole of the foot in front of the extended right leg. Or bring it behind. Do what feels good in that shoulder. Do what feels good in your body. If you don't take care of you, who's gonna take care of you? Pretty simple, huh? Take care of yourself. And a good way to start is with your yoga. Breathe. All right, let's finish. Roll down onto your belly. Just take a breath or two here. Bring your hands underneath your collarbones. Press on up, legs are long. Press on up into a seal pose. Spread your hips wide, send them to the sides of your room. Arms are straight, breathe. And then come on up to a neutral tabletop. Find your block. Come on up, shoulders over your hips, tuck your toes towards your shins. Place the block behind your heels. Stretch out your feet. Your foundation, your fascia. All right, this is toes pose. Too intense, come out of it. If it's just hard and it doesn't hurt, stick with it. You're tough, you're strong. Remember that. You are strong, especially able and competent. That is strong. All right, while we're here, hands to your thighs or prayer center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe you want to bring your hands behind your low back because you had that nice big stretch in the shoulders. Reach your hands toward opposite elbow creases like ragdoll arms. Drive your shoulders back and down. Hello to Stan and Lori and Esther and Lynn and Tammy and Liz and Kelly, Rena, Tim, Barbara, Kathy, Olivia, Walter, Roger, Evelyn. How are you guys? I'm glad you're here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Toes pose. Let's take its counterpart. Release your arms wherever you have them. Release the block. Take it away. Come on to the tops of your feet. Using one block or two blocks or no blocks at all. Let them bring the ground up to you and come back in to the tops of your feet. So let your knees come up and you're balancing on the tops of your feet. If you've been using the blocks, maybe today take a little bold, courageous move. Maybe lift your hands off the blocks a little bit and bring them back. It's all good. Play with it to what works for you. Maybe no blocks at all. Find your balance here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Balance and then finish. Come on down on your knees. Come into a neutral tabletop position. Lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle the ankles out in both directions and then tap the tops of your feet out onto your mat. Let's come on down to our backs. Yay, that sounds good, doesn't it? Let's come into pentacle pose. I love this pose. Enjoy the getting here. That's the best part. Legs are down toward the bottom of your mat. Arms go up overhead. You're getting into your shoulders even. Maybe a little bend in your elbows feels good. Send your heels to the bottom edges of your mat. Send your fingers to the top edges of your mat as if you are reaching all four of your limbs to all four corners of the room. To say being drawn and quartered doesn't sound real good, but that's the image. So reach your fingers long to the two corners of the room and your feet long to the other corners of the room. Breathe, stretch it out. Let this be a nice, wonderful, decompressing, neutral position for your body. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Soften your shoulders. Let it be. Even soften your backside. Feels wonderful to just let go. All right, stay here if you want, or I'm gonna go into a banana asana pose. Bring your legs together at the midline of your body. I'll talk you through so you can just keep your eyes closed and enjoy. Bring your arms up, up, up overhead so your palms are almost touching. Let's start by going to the right side first. Take your feet, your heels, which are now together at the midline, and wiggle them to the bottom right corner of your mat. Wiggle them as far as feels right for you. But the trick here is to keep that left hip down on the mat. Don't let it pop up as you roll over onto that right hip. Both bottom cheeks are down. Both hips are equidistant to the sky. Lengthen through your fingertips so your biceps are up near your ears. Take your right hand and capture your left wrist and give it a tug. Tug it to the top right corner of your mat. But like how you kept your left hip down, keep your left shoulder down too. So, Banana Asana, what a great name. It looks like a banana. Your body is curved in that gentle way. Some bananas are curved more than others. Don't criticize yourself. Just keep the shoulder and hip down, and however the curve is, it's good for you. So it's a nice, big, elongating stretch from your left pinky toe all the way up through your fingertips. Pull on that wrist. Let's come back to the midline. Soften all that you got. Heels back to the midline. Palms back to touching. Lengthen through your fingertips. Breathe here. Recalibrate at the midline. And then work your heels to the left corner of your mat, or somewhere near that, keeping both hips equally down. Lengthen through your fabulous fingertips. Then take your left hand, capture your right wrist, give it a tug, and then let those right fingers reach toward the top left side of your mat. Shoulders down, hips down, breathe. Tug on that wrist. Hold on. Let the big stretch feel good. One more big cycle of breath. One more nice pull. Find length and relax. Slowly work your hands back to the midline of your body and your feet back to the midline of your body too. Lengthen up, point your toes, or stretch through your fingers. Really try to be long in this stick pose where you look like a big number 1. Bend your elbows. Bend your elbows, palms face up, goal post your arms. So wiggle your shoulders so you're comfortable. Arms are goal posted. They look like a cactus. Bend your knees. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch and open up your knees wide to the sides of your room. Big breath in, big breath out. Soften in your glutes. Let your knees fall just a fraction of an inch closer to the earth. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. How about your neck? Turn it right, turn it left. Kind of a little skull massage here. Are the backs of your hands pressed into the earth? Let it be. Turn your head left to right. And then finish. Bring your head back to the midline of your body. Bring your arms down by your sides. Bring your knees back to the midline of your body, and let's do dead bug, a great pose for your back. Lift your legs up so your knees are over your hips and your shins are parallel to the sky. Draw your toes towards your shins. It helps you plant your low back in your mat a little bit more. Now, hold it here. Lift your hands up. Press your hands into your thighs. Really press your hands into your thighs, then press your thighs back into your hands. Hold here. This is not easy. Push. You're strong. You've got strength. You're capable. You're able. You got it. Breathe. It's hard. Good core exercise. Great strengthening for your back. Let's take the challenge a little further. Oh, goody, right? All right, release your hands. Send your legs high up to the sky. Send your arms high up to the sky so you look like the letter U. Breathe. Now, opposite limbs. Oh, opposites always throw me. Let your right foot, your right leg extend long toward the earth, all the while extending your left arm, the opposite arm toward the earth too. Try to have the heel and the back of your hand touch down at the same time, then bring them on back up to the starting position where your body looks like the letter U. Other side. Left foot, leg comes down. Right arm comes down. Try to have the heel and the hand touch at the same time. Once they touch, bring them on back up. And repeat as shown. Extend one leg in the opposite arm. Back up to the starting position. And then do the other. Take it slowly. Great for your back. Strengthening your back. We're going to banish low back pain. Let it go. Do your dead bug. Lots of variations of dead bug. We've done 2 today. We do other variations too. Every day our practices are different. Come check us out. Breathe. How are you doing with your dead bug? One more set. Nice and slow. Lift and lower and let it be. Come back to your starting U shape. Lengthen up, tailbone down. Crown of your head is lifting to the top of your room or in front of your room, and your shoulders are relaxed as well. Bend your knees, arms down by your sides. Bridge pose. Soles of your feet are on your mat, heels behind your hips. Press into your feet, lift your hips up to the sky, wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine. Breathe. Breathe in your bridge pose. Push your strong feet into the earth. Stretch those hip flexors in front of your hips. Slowly, one vertebra at a time, lower it down to your mat, keeping your tailbone tucked. All you got to do is keep your navel sucked to your spine, and then bring your tailbone down last. Find your strap if you got it, and let's use it for a little boat pose. Press on up to a seated position. Find your strap and place the center of it under your feet. No strap, you can still do this. Don't worry about it. Here's what you're going to do. If you have no strap, you're still going to lean back. We who have the strap are going to hold on to it. It just gives us some nice tight tension and just stability. You can lean back with your hands on your mat if you don't have your strap, and then lift maybe one foot or the other or both. Pull onto your strap and lift your feet on up. Legs are extended long, maybe a little micro bend in your knees feels good. Now you're back. Don't round it. Think of somebody taking their hand and gently nudging the center of your back forward. Drive through your chest. Let it lift up, up, up toward the sky. Lean back, breathe, hold here in your balance. Let it feel good. Big breath in and big breath out. Hold it. You got it. Lean back a little more. Play with your balance. And then finish. Heels come down. Use this strap. Hinge forward. Maybe both hands walk down both straps as you bring your forehead towards your knees. Finish up. Remove your strap. Bring it away from your body. And let's come back to that lightning bolt pose. Thunderbolt, thunderbolt. Bend your knees and sit back on your heels. Find your block. All right, here's the deal. Let's do that hero's pose as promised. We did a big long stretch of our quads early on, and I think perhaps you can do this now, but you do it only if it feels right for you. All right, so you're seated back on your heels. Maybe you stay right here. You can spread your knees a little bit and spread your heels a little bit and bring your bottom on down in between your heels. So you got your heels right at the kind of the hip crease in your hips. Knees stay down. Maybe this is where you stay. If this doesn't feel so great, but you don't want to come back to Thunderbolt, you could slip your block underneath your bottom and just hang out here. Half-size block would be really nice right here. All right. If you're down with your bottom on the ground and your heels up near your hips, maybe you walk your hands back a little farther. Breathe. Chest stays lifted. Let all the tension go. This is a big stretch for your quadriceps. Feels really good if you're a runner or a cyclist. Maybe not feels really good, but something you really need. Maybe you slip on down to your forearms. If you're down here, you can give yourself a foot massage. That's always good. Never pass that up. And maybe slip all the way down to your shoulders. Keeping your knees down, your bottom down. If it's not right, work your way out of it. Work yourself back up to your hands and work back to what is doable for you. This is called hero's pose for a reason. This is a tough one. It's a big stretch in your quadriceps. Arms, maybe you like them down by your sides, and maybe you lift them up, kind of like Tadasana arms, or bend your elbows and create like a little square with your arms over your head. Breathe. Hero's pose. Let the tension go. More easily said than done, right? But a lot of tension is in our head. A lot of the stress is in our head. Let it go. You take the layer that's right for you. Maybe this is just too much for today. And if it's too much for today, just stick with your practice. Keep coming back. Every day we stretch different things to make other poses more accessible. So just stick with it. Keep with it. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Big breath in, big breath out. Let's bring our arms down by our sides if you did the full hero's pose. Bring your hands back down by your sides. Press on up through straightened arms. That is your hero's pose. Let's come out of it and come on down to our bellies. Once on your belly, send your arms long to the top of your mat and your legs long to the bottom of the mat. Legs are kind of spread. We're going to do Superman pose. Superman pose. And we're going to do it a little differently today with opposite reaches. All right, so your chin, your nose are down on your mat. Your legs are long, your arms are reaching long. Let's lift our right leg up and let's lift our left arm up and hold it here. If it doesn't feel right, bring one of the limbs down and just do the leg or just do the arm. Breathe. Hold it, stretch it, lengthen it. Bring the left arm down, bring the right leg down. You know where we're going next, other side. Left leg lifts, right arm lifts. Stretch and reach. Let's do it again. Right leg, left arm, up. Lift that right leg a little higher. And come on down. Left leg lifts, right arm reaches. Left leg goes a little higher. All four limbs down. Let's try it with all four limbs up. 2 legs, 2 arms, lift, gaze down your nose, hold it here. Big breath in, big breath out, Superman pose, hold it. Long flight today, hold it. Hold it. Let's finish. How did you do? Arms down by your sides. With your arms down by your sides, interlace your fingers behind your low back. Chin is down, forehead is down, nose is down. Legs are spread to a comfortable distance. When you're ready, on an inhale, lift your chest up, lift your legs up, lift the interlaced fingers off your low back. Reach, breathe through your locust pose, breathe. Open up through your chest, you got it. Finish, come on down. Arms, hands underneath your shoulders. Press on up through your seal pose. Come on up to a seated position. In your seated position, spread your legs wide. Bring your arms in between your legs and maybe just hinge forward just a little bit. Little bit, little bit. Maybe work your forearms down to the mat. You could use a block here as well. Come on back up, shoulders over your hips, supine twist. Come on down, all the way down on your mat. Have your blocks nearby, up by your shoulders. Also have your towel and your eye shade nearby. Bend your right knee, left leg goes long. Left heel drives to the bottom of the room. Right knee bends, interlaced fingers underneath your right knee. Circle your ankle a few times in both directions. Left hand guides the right knee across the midline of your body. Keep your right shoulder down. Tee out your right arm and look to the right. Breathe. Right hip comes down to the earth. Gaze goes back up to the sky. Hug the right knee in with interlaced fingers again. Other side. Right leg goes long. Heel drives to the bottom of the room. Ooh, feel that in your right hip. Left leg bends. Interlaced fingers. Hug the left knee in. Shoulders are down and soft. Right hand guides the left knee across the midline of your body. Keeping the left shoulder down like you did in your banana asana. but the hips are now stacked. Tee out your left arm and look to the left. Breathe. Left hip comes down to meet the mat. Interlaced fingers, hug your left knee in again. Left leg goes long on your mat. Take a brief pentacle pose. Reset, recharge, you got it. All four limbs, all four corners. Legs back to the midline of your body, arms down by your sides. Press on up and find your two blocks. We're going to take a fish pose. Bring your blocks into the shape of a letter T with some space, about 6 or 8 inches between them, because that's where your neck is going to be. You can have your blocks at their most stable height, or you can have them a little bit higher. Once on your bottom, scoot your bottom up toward the vertical block, and the idea is this vertical block is going to go right between your shoulder blades. So we got to move it, adjust it, tweak it, make it feel right. Come back and lean back on it. Not the most comfortable position in the world, but it'll get better. The other block is for your head. Lean on back. Your neck should be free, no block beneath it. The vertical block is between your shoulder blades. Envelop your shoulder blades around that block. Arms down by your sides, palms face up, if that feels okay for you. Now your legs. You can bend both knees. That alleviates some tension on your low back, if there's any there. You can keep your legs long. That feels good too. Or you can bend your knees and remember this pose, how we had the cobbler pose with the soles of the feet touching and the knees open wide. Maybe you like that. Arms can tee out or go wider, whatever feels really nice for your shoulders in this moment. Deep breath in and deep breath out. This is a great pose. I feel like you feel the benefits almost right away. It's a chest opener. You feel like your lungs can just breathe better because you're opened up. And it's great for your standing posture. Breathe. Now, necks are sensitive places in our bodies. As always, you do what is right for you. Doesn't matter how your pose looks, just don't let it hurt and do what feels good for you. An option here would be to lower that head block and let your head come back even farther. Nice application for a half block too. If you had a half block, you could slip it under your head. Or you can remove the block completely and let your head hang all the way back to the earth. But you do what is right for you. Many people in classes in person, once they do this, they say, I'm bringing my block back. Go ahead and do it. You got to do you. You got to do you. You do yourself an injustice if you do something that just doesn't feel right for your body. Why would you do that to your body? Listen to your body and give it what it needs. Deep breath in and deep breath out. You got it. Now you can stay here in your fish pose to finish up, or you can work your way out of it and come into a final Shavasana pose. That's what I'm gonna do. Stay here if you like. Fish pose, stay in for 15, 20 minutes, whatever feels great to you. On our restorative days, Thursdays and Sundays, we will hold this pose longer. So join us and do that. I'm gonna draw my knees together at the midline of my body as I come out of this pose. I'm gonna send my legs long. Good, and roll off the block. Don't push your shoulders up. Just roll off the blocks. No need to rush or hurry. Just come off the blocks gently. Now, you've got your eye shade and your towel up by your shoulders, I hope. Send your legs long on your mat. Send your body into a comfortable reclined position called Final Shavasana. Towel can cover your eyes, or your eye shade can cover your eyes. You decide what you like. Wiggle your shoulders under your back a little bit more, keeping your shoulders away from your ears. palms face up, heels slightly spread to the corners of your mat, pinky toes a little bit toward the earth. Let go. Let go of the doubt in your mind about your ability to do yoga. Let go of the tension between your eyebrows. Let go of the tension in your jaw and your shoulders. Your body is heavy on your mat. Your breath is deep and long. And you are at peace in this moment, in this day, just right now. Total stillness, just your breath. Take a deep, slow breath in, followed by a deeper, slower breath out. If you can stay here longer, do so and enjoy this sacred time on your mat. It's time for you to conclude your hour. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your hands and your feet. Then circle your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, reach high overhead and stretch it out like it's your first good morning stretch of your day. Exhale, bend your knees and your elbows and roll onto one hip or the other and come into a fetal position. Your low arms bicep is a pillow for your head. Let your head be heavy. Let your top shoulder relax away from the ear. Eyes are closed. Savor this breath, this moment. Maybe continue to keep your eyes closed as you gently press on up to a comfortable seated position, whatever is comfortable for you right now. Bring your hands to prayer center in gratitude for your body, for what it is able to do. Let your shoulders be soft, let your elbows be down. Let the crown of your head lengthen to the top of the sky. Exhale, soften up, and let it be. Take another deep cycle of breath, appreciating it. Gently blink, your eyes open. Ta-da! You did it! You did it! Congratulations again. Success. You showed up. That was the hardest part. Maybe that was the hardest part. And you moved your body. You did the things that you know you need to do. And I'm really proud of you. As you go on with your day, think about this stress number. What was it? And now what is it now? So that kind of is evidence to you that your yoga is doing good things for you. All right. Don't be a critic of you today. The world's hard enough on you. Don't jump on that negativity bandwagon. Be your own personal cheerleader. Nobody knows what you're thinking in your head, so think good things. Let that little voice inside of you, let it be totally positive about you today. I challenge you to do that. All right, have a good day. Love you guys. See you back on your mats tomorrow for yet another great day of yoga. I love my dogs. Have a great day, everybody. I love you. Goodbye. I love you. And I love you. Good girl. Good girl. Bye. You're a good girl. You're just a good girl. You are just
You
a
did
good
it.
girl. Another day of yoga in the books, and I bet you feel really, really good. And I am glad that you are here. And you know, it's beginning to look a lot like you're getting more and more fit. Stick with it, even during this holiday busy time. Enjoy your yoga. I am glad that you are here. Tell your friends about our yoga. It's free for anybody and everybody. All they got to do is check us out on Facebook or YouTube. Have them join us. They'll be better off for it. If you would like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. See you on your mats tomorrow.